Here's an example in which we find the potential function for a given vector field assuming it's conservative. So if my vector field is conservative, there's a scalar function such that the gradient of it is this vector field. And for that to be true, this guy here, this first component should be f sub x, second one should be f sub y, and this third one should be f sub z. So that means I'm going to want three things. We want f sub x to be yz. We want f sub y to be xz plus 2. And I'm going to want f sub z to be xy plus 3. And so I have to solve these. And so the first one, f sub x is yz, is going to give me that my little f here is xyz plus perhaps some function of y and z. Maybe we'll call that g. So that when we take the partial with respect to x here, we get yz plus 0 because this has no x in it, and that's what we want it to be. Now, we want to figure out how to deal with this f sub y is xz plus 2. Well, if f is this, that's going to mean that my f sub y is xz plus g sub y of yz. And so if I match these guys up, so this guy here should be the same as this guy here, my xz's cancel, and I'm going to have my g sub y here being 2. So my g sub y equals 2. And so that means that our g of yz is 2y plus perhaps some function of z. So let me get, you can't really see that, some function of z there. And so that means this guy here, my g of yz can go back up in here. And so my f now, I have xyz, I'll write it down here, my f is xyz plus 2y plus h of z. Okay. Alrighty. So this will match up now the f sub x and f sub y correctly, and we have to deal finally with f sub z. So if f is this, and I take my f prime, well, my f sub z here is going to be xy plus h prime of z. I can use the prime notation here instead of the subscript notation because h is a function of z alone. So now we want to match this guy here up with this guy down here. And so for these two to be equal, my xy's cancel, and so I have to have h prime of z to be 3. And now that means our h of z is going to be 3z plus perhaps some ordinary constant c there. Okay? And so now this right here we can put up in place of h of z there. So finally my f is going to be xyz plus 2y plus 3z plus c. And that's our final answer.